New technology. Is it bombarding us with too much information?
We want to be able to go faster and be more productive, but we don't want to fall off the edge.
David Levy is a computer scientist by training. As a professor in the iSchool, Levy focuses on the cultural pressures of being involved with new technologies.
10 years ago, people might have debated whether information overload was a problem. And certainly if you look at the scholarship, the historical scholarship, there have been other times in history when people have complained about information overload. But what is, I think, objectively true today is that there has never been so much information that we have had access to.
David Levy says there could be a problem with all this.
There are many good things that come from having access to so much information, but one of the challenges that we face is something that I'm feeling at this very moment as I'm having this conversation with you, which is it's very hard for me to stay concentrated on what I'm actually trying to talk about. The extent of the distractions that are available to us now as I stand on this corner make it actually rather challenging for me to engage in the kind of conversation that I actually want to have. It's an actual example in microcosm what I think all of us are dealing with as we sit at our computers, as we have access to our smartphones and so on.
Levy says research shows human beings need to focus on one thing in order to do it really well. When we go faster and faster and try to juggle too many things at once, we lose touch with what's actually happening in the present moment.
And I'm feeling totally overloaded and overwhelmed at this very moment in the middle of this interview, and I'm thinking, am I actually capable of articulating myself to the best extent I can, given all the people that are running around and the fact that I'm almost shouting and the cameraman is across there telling me when to start and when to stop. Oi, is all I can say.
Levy doesn't think our insatiable desire for more information is necessarily bad. The key, he says, is finding a proper balance between new technology and the human experience. And that balance will be different for each individual.
There are people who would say, you know, I'm perfectly happy spending time playing video games or being on my computer all the time. I'm the last person that's going to try to tell somebody like that they should be trying to live a different kind of life. Maybe it actually is right for that person. What I can tell you is that there are plenty of people who don't feel comfortable with living that kind of life, and who actually in some sense long for these other dimensions of life, for being out in nature, for having time to read and think more deeply, but feel that the pressures of life and the demands on them make it hard for them to do it. The challenge we now face in relation to having so much information, good as it may be, is that we now need to discern when we need to make use of certain forms of information, and when we need to sort of let go of it and move on to other things.